Who doesn't want more and more of God? Who does not want more and more? I know I want more and more of Him because without Him, I'm totally incomplete. So I do need more and more, and that song just resonates with me very, very well. So go listen, practice if you're coming to the worship night because we need you to sing along. We need you to sing those songs with Him that night. So, what else? So we also have a. Is it concert? We're having a concert on
June 21st.
June 21st. Our church is hosting a concert, and Boswell will be performing. And her very dear, dear friend, all the way from Canada, Pastor Junior Smith, will be there as well. He will be in the building. So, again, if you are in the area, you're local, come on,
And
stop by.
completed on each other.
It's free of cost. The concert is free of cost. So,
Tell them about the food.
and the food is for sale, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be having food all day from the morning all through the day. We're going to be having jerk chicken, rice and peas. They're going to have, I can't say that word, but I'm going to say oink oink. We're going to be having oink oink.
So admission is free though.
Admission is free. Admission to the concert is absolutely free. So you could come, you just have to purchase food. That's it. You know, and it's all going to a good cause for a building fund for a church. So yeah, come on over if you're in the area, and yeah, it's gonna be a great night. So, Bob, do you want to say nothing? Can I'll take off my phone, please. And now that he's back on the couch, do you have something to say before we go into this very, very, very wonderful topic?
I have nothing to say just yet. I'm anxious to discuss this topic, you know.
Right.
But guys, for you, those of you who were on Facebook and YouTube, we're sorry for the inconvenience for the sound. But every time I try to go live, it always gives me some robotic sounds. But we got it working, and hopefully you guys can hear us loud and clear. And all right, go ahead, share the live. Let them know that we're live now, and we're
Yes.
gonna have a great discussion right now, talking about what church hurt
Yes. Church heard.
with my father on the couch. He's here.
Alrighty. All right. So,
You want to give them a disclaimer first?
what's the disclaimer?
Disclaimer. Listen, guys. I
Oh,
am not a prophet. I am not a pastor. I am not a teacher.
you're not a
I am
theologian.
not a theologian. I am just a simple servant, just here having simple conversations. All right. So if you're educated enough, right, and you feel that you're educated and you're intellectual and all that, listen. Remember, I said I am not that. I am just a servant of God. So
Sharing experiences
sharing
with
my
you. Okay.
experiences.
We're not having
All
a
right.
discussion on it.
Yes. So here we go.
Okay, so here we go. So before we dive in, I'm just gonna ask a question, and either one of you guys could answer the question to the best of your knowledge, right? So let's first start off with a simple breakdown or a definition of what is church hurt. In your own words, what would you, if you were supposed to put a definition to church hurt, how would you define church hurt? Either one of you could answer the question.
I wish I could looking at church hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's define the church.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's you're talking about you're getting hurt in the building or you're getting hurt in your being, because it's two different, because people has that tendency to say,
True.
church hurt, so
Mm-hmm.
you get church at hurt,
Mm-hmm.
at church,
Okay.
when at the same time you hurt really inside,
Okay.
and that's where the church is real.
Yep. Correct.
So some people have to be educated about where really is the hurt coming from.
Mm.
Is the hurt coming from the inside, or it coming from the outside coming in?
From the outside coming in.
Right. So we have to define that, and once we are clear on that, then we are able to choose whether or not um, it's a church hurt, or it's a hurt outside of the church, or it's a hurt inside of the church.
Mm-hmm. Get it
And it depends on which direction it comes from.
from outside in.
So if it's come from outside in, that means it's the people hurt you from outside in. And and what comes in, if it hurts on the inside, your church on the inside, then hurt going out,
Okay.
which means that it carry your church on the inside will carry an aroma to go out there into the church for the church to see, rather than for the outside to come into you, because the place in there is not what happened, is not where the hurt begins.
Okay.
You're trying to focus where the hurt is. The hurt is whether from outside in, trying to get in, or the hurt inside, trying to get out.
Well, we can look at it both ways. So a lot of people in today's society, like all around, when you talk about church, they're pretty much talking about the building.
You're right.
So when we say church hurt, we're talking about, as you said, it would be from the outside, trying to, disturb what's on the inside.
Right.
So that's the type of church hurt that we're talking about.
The outside trying to
The
get.
outside trying to get on the inside. So if you were supposed to put a definition, like a personal definition, to that kind of hurt, how would you? Because a lot of people who does not have a relationship with God and does not know God for themselves, they don't understand the whole purpose of what church means, not knowing that we are the church.
Right.
We're the walking church.
Right.
So a lot of time, they put the church and it's a mix up, because growing up, when you say church, you're talking about the building. Me personally, until I gained a personal relationship with
Right.
God,
Right.
then I understood that I am the church.
Right.
So the church earth that we are talking about, or the topic is on, is the one from the outside, the assembly, trying to affect what's on the inside. So how would you put a definition to that type of church hurt?
Well, in my estimation, that type of a hurt, as we normally says, words have don't carry anything or doesn't mean anything. Words,
And they say sticks and stone can break my bones, but your words could never hurt.
yeah,
but
but words,
yeah,
words is powerful from
Oh,
the
yeah.
inside. Yeah.
Afterward.
And for a person from the outside in, you have to, for you to be able to stand up from that which is coming from outside in, there has to be something planted on the inside that is able to cushion that which is coming in. If you don't have that cushioning what is coming in other words, when it comes in, you know how to sieve it out. Like the old people said, you run things through a sieve, you sieve it out, and you know what to take out from it, what you want to go where, and you don't want it to go there. When it comes in, you'll know how to direct it and how to handle it, because it's now coming in.
Yeah.
It's not for you coming from inside going out. So you just got to be very careful and have develop that inner resistance, so that when it comes from outside and coming in, you are able to cushion it. If you're not able to cushion it, then it comes in and it hurts you.
Okay. All right. So, Boz Junior, how would you personally define church hurt?
So we went through this last week, and we're gonna go over it again. We're gonna go over it again. I said, church, we are the church. And we also discussed the fact that should church hurt affect your faith, right? But we're not going to go there yet. So I'm just going to define church hurt based on a collective body, or how others would probably summarize it, right? So church hurt is you intentionally, or someone intentionally in the church does something to affect its members, or the people they are associated with.
Okay.
Intentionally.
It can be intentionally, unintentionally,
Right.
or just to provoke. Some people do it intentionally by provoking people into jealousy and like that type of stuff. So it can be intentional and unintentional provocation.
Okay, so I have here, like
Mm-hmm.
for a deeper insight, I have here in a church. What do I have it here? Church hurt isn't just an offense, it's about betrayal of sacred trust. When someone is wounded by a place that represents God love, it can feel like spiritual trauma. It is not just an emotional pain, especially when it's something that was supposed to be safe and holy.
Okay.
So, and in Psalms 55, 12 to 14, I am going to read 55, 12 to 14. It
Mm-hmm.
says, and this is David, for it was, for if it,
Was
for
my
it was not an enemy
enemy.
that reproached me, then I could have been borne it.
Mm-hmm.
Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man, mine equal, my guide, and my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked into the house of God in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quickly into hell, for wickedness is in thy dwelling and among them. So, this is just simply like, as this says, people view church, the building, as a place, and the members and the people that are within that vicinity as someone who is holy that represent Christ.
Right.
When the betrayal like that comes from the church or the
From
or
someone, an
someone within or
individual,
an
right?
individual that should be representing Christ, as a human being and as a person, it does create some form of hurt
Okay.
from that aspect. So do you agree or you disagree
We're here
that
again.
yes, we're here because you're continuing, so we have to pick up from where we left off. So
I said what I said the last time. I said,
mhm,
as human, your human tendency, when someone does something, your natural human tendency is to
mhm,
respond,
yep,
right?
mhm,
So if someone does something to you, now you're gonna respond whether in the spirit or in your human form,
okay,
right? So humanistic wise,
mhm.
you will be hurt, but your church not supposed to be hurt.
And when we had the discussion, I said I agree to disagree because
Mm-hmm.
as we were talking earlier, this is your shell. This is the housing for
Right.
the soul and your spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, and you were correct, and I said I did agree because again, when you are at that spiritual place, there are certain things that you're able to, as you said, sieve out. But not everybody is at that place.
Right.
Not everybody's at that level where they're
Mm-hmm.
able to be like, you know what? I'm gonna sieve this out and I'll take what's mine and what's not mine, I'll leave it. How do you tell that person who is not there spiritually?
Ooh.
Who is not there spiritually? How would you look at a person and be like, someone come to you and say, Mr. Anglin Senior or Mr. Anglin Boswell, I go to this church and this person did this to me and I'm hurt. I am hurt about it. How would you tell that person, knowing that that person is not at the spiritual level where you can look at that person and be like, hey, sieve it out?
But then again, you have to still look at it in another context again. The person does that.
Mm-hmm.
The person know
Exactly.
or he doesn't know.
Okay.
Because it's like you could just say something to me
Mm-hmm.
that I normally hear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you said the same thing to me in a different atmosphere. You didn't change what you said,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You said the same thing to me in a different atmosphere,
Yeah.
and it carries a different
Different
Way
weight
weight.
around.
in
Yeah.
that
Yes.
same
And
atmosphere.
it's the
Yeah.
same thing you've been saying.
And you did not change what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You just say the same thing in a different atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
and it hurts you. And
Yeah.
here you hear us now. Oh my God! Then last week, me
We
not say
said
the
the same.
same thing to him, and nothing happen, and nothing happen. And then at the same thing, me say no, and him hurt by it.
Mm.
Right.
Atmospheres,
Right.
atmospheres.
Wow.
says a
A
lot.
lot.
And because of that too, you go away hurt and the person says the same normal thing to you because at first it didn't hurt you. It didn't
Right.
affect you. And instead in that atmosphere and it doesn't know whether or not
Yeah.
that it hurts you in that atmosphere. The person
Right.
doesn't know,
No.
because the person run that joke with you. How he does that
All the time.
all the time, and it is nothing, and you didn't see it as anything either. But this time, because of the atmosphere, it
Yeah.
hurts you. The person, no way the person can know. No way the person can know,
Yeah.
unless you said to me, I was in an atmosphere, and you said the same thing to me, but it didn't carry the same weight
Yeah. Yeah.
into
Yeah.
that atmosphere. If you're
Yeah.
not being able to do that, the person goes away hurt.
Yes.
What can you do?
Yeah.
You
You
just
don't know.
you don't know.
Exactly.
So you hurt,
Yes.
and the person feels good, and the person comes, one making joke with you, or being nice with you, and you resenting the person, and the person is
I
saying,
wonder what they do.
what me do? What did I do? And because I didn't do anything
Different.
different,
Absolutely not.
and it's true, didn't do
Yeah. Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
different. But atmosphere has a lot to do with what you do, and so it's just to show you how humans are,
Yes.
and we are humans, and
Yes.
and that is why we have to be open to one another. That we can share
And learn to communicate.
and we can communicate, because without that communication, I hurt you and you hurt me, and we
We
just
not say
we,
nothing,
and
you
we
not
not
say
say
nothing.
anything,
Yeah.
and then you put more hurt on the
Yeah.
hurt that I hurt you, and I put more hurt on
Yeah.
it, trying to make it balance,
Yeah.
and it doesn't end up too well. So we end up now, the two church personnel
Saint Malice. Malice.
start out hurt
Hurt for hurt.
for hurt, and then we start the little thing now, the little malice
malice.
thing,
The dry
the little
malice.
dry
Yes,
malice, until
malice.
the malice get wet, until the malice
Envy
get
and covetous.
Not
envy,
to spread.
because it have to spread,
Yes.
and it spread down the line,
Yeah.
just because
One misunderstanding.
one misunderstanding, and if we don't catch it quick and
Yes.
correct it quick, it blows out of proportion.
Yeah.
And when it blows out of proportion, that's the difference now, is that when it blows out proportion, is the two of you hurt, but now it brings in me, and it brings in your sister,
Yeah.
and it brings in your mother, and it brings in your cousin, and everybody now, because of that
Suffering from
same
one-
one suffering
person.
from the same one thing.
Wow.
And the church is like that.
Yes.
The church is like that. I don't think we handle, as a church body, we handle hurt well.
No,
And sometimes
we don't.
the person who is giving the hurt are deliberate too.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are deliberate. They deliberately hurt you,
They will know that they're doing it
and know that they are
continue to
and
do
know
it.
that they are doing it. Okay. Now you look at it now from another level. If you did not get the hurt, you wouldn't learn certain things. You wouldn't know how to handle yourself. Certain
Experiences.
ways. You wouldn't have certain experience,
Experience. True.
because it's the same church people going to grow you.
It's
Oh yes.
yes.
Oh yeah.
So what can you do?
True. That is so true. That was it's so funny because Baz was saying the same thing last week, similar.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to, it's a discussion. So you have to pick brains to really, you know what I'm saying? So let's move on to the other question. That was a very good response. Anything you have to say, Baz?
No, I said what I had to say already.
Okay.
You can't hurt the church.
Okay.
You can't hurt the church. You can't hurt the individual in the flesh.
Okay. Let's talk about the role of forgiveness.
Mm.
Just answer. We don't want to go too much in depth because some of the questions are like so close. If you answer one, is like you answer 3 questions at the same time. So just like, yeah.
You want us to be
So let's talk about the role of forgiveness in church hurt.
mm.
Is forgiveness necessary for healing?
Without no forgiveness, there is no healing.
Right. Right.
because the Bible specifically tells you
Mm-hmm.
have an ought
Mm-hmm.
or something against your brother
Yep.
or your sister.
Yep.
Tell him, go to
Mm-hmm.
him
Mm-hmm.
before you come to me, God.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
So
But
leave it.
sometimes we the church people know we go to God first.
Yes.
But we don't go
Wrong
back to
approach.
the person.
Person.
Mm-hmm.
So believe it
And
in a God hand.
that
I'm gonna
makes the
leave,
thing
me leave them in a
com-
God hand.
Yeah.
that make the thing it complex. It's just in that
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
complexity
Yes.
because we're not doing what the Bible requires. Bible
Correct.
said, you have an art, talk to the person.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember you kneel down up, then you're praying.
Leave there.
Leave, get up,
Leave it. Leave
get
your
up.
gift at the altar. The Bible tells
And
you.
said, get up from there,
Mm-hmm.
make it right,
Yes.
talk about it, and then come back to him.
That's right.
And that's
So
the
The
Bible.
word.
it's just
That's
because
the
we're not
word.
Who
following
not
The
follow?
word of God.
the protocol that God
Yes.
requires. And
Yes.
anytime we're not following it, then it's
Yes.
Problems.
chaos.
Chaos. That is so
Chaos.
true.
Chaos.
What about, do you have anything to
So
add
the
to that?
question is forgiveness because we just want to answer it. What's the question
The
again?
question is, what role does forgiveness play in healing from church hurt? Is it necessary?
Forgiveness is very essential.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because if you don't forgive that person, you every time you see that person,
Yes.
you gonna remember what they did to you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna talk about it with somebody else, and you're gonna spread it with somebody else, and that's
Yep.
somebody else gonna spread it with somebody else, and then next thing you have other people's involved in
Mm-hmm.
your stuff, right? So but when you forgive, right, as the Bible say, Christ throw your whatever sins or whatever in the sea of forgetfulness. That's
Mm-hmm.
how forgiveness works too. When you truly forgive,
Yes.
right, you have to throw that thing away like it never
Never
happens, because
happened.
that's how Christ deal with us,
Yeah.
right? So if Christ can deal with us that way, who are we not to forgive somebody else who does us the same thing?
Yeah.
The thing is though, we are so hard in our hearts because of our, as I said, with the flesh. The
Mm-hmm.
flesh has nothing to do with God. So guess what? The flesh is always gonna want to continue those type of behavior,
Yes. Of
right? So
course.
you see anything that looks close to it again, oh well, they didn't do this to me before, and now give them a second chance to do it again. No, but
Yes.
Christ give you a second chance to lie.
Second. Yep.
You lie every day, or you may do something to somebody, and Christ forgive you.
Yeah.
So if Christ is within you, you're supposed to have that same type of attitude that Christ had towards you, to forgive you,
Yes.
so you can forgive someone else who offend you, whether intentionally or unintentionally.
Yes. And it's true. And we
Yeah.
look like a hypocrite if, we can't forgive
But you want
our
Christ forgive
brother
you.
and our sister for, a little mistake that they make, but yet still we go to God and begging and crying and asking God to forgive us. It makes us look like an hypocrite in the
Oh
sight of
yes.
God. And I learned something very, very essential from Boswell Jr. I remember he said something to me a very long, because I had an issue with forgiveness. And let me tell you, unforgiveness can create an open doors for many other things. Sickness, hatred, bitterness, it creates so much. And I remember I was at a state in my life when I was hurt over a situation, and that situation created bitterness. I mean, like serious, serious bitterness, to the point where it was terrible. And it brought me into a state where I become very anxious, very depressed, and I was in a hole where I make a pledge that I do not want to go into that hole. And the craziest part about it, the people that create the hurt, when you go to church, they're there singing and rejoicing and speaking in
That's
tongues
the
and running the
that's the
aisle.
that's
And I'm there in that hole. I'm here in that hole over a situation that was caused by a person. And they're at church running up and down and speaking in tongues, and you sit down there. And it took God. It took God and developing a relationship with Him and getting to know Him for myself. And I make a pledge to God, say, listen, I would never, ever, ever allow anyone to put me in that state ever again. And I remember my husband looked at me and said, listen, You have to learn forgiveness is not for you. It's not for the person, it's for you. Because when you forgive that person, you're releasing yourself. It's not for the person, it's for you. Forgiveness is for you because you're helping yourself and you're releasing yourself from all these things. So, yes, forgiveness is absolutely necessary. If you're hurting about a situation, the Bible tells you how to deal with these situations. It tells you. If you know that your brother, and Mr. Anglin said it, Senior said it, if you know your brother have a heart against you, it's your responsibility to leave that gift at the altar before you even go to God and approach God for anything.
He says so.
He said it. The
He
Bible said
says
it. I
it.
know
He
we
says
didn't
it.
say it. It's in the Bible.
Right.
He said it, and if he said it, that's what we should be doing. So, yes, church hurt is out there, but God give us the guidelines how to deal with those situations, and forgiveness does play a huge role in forgiveness. So yes, forgiveness is absolutely necessary.
So, guys, if you have questions in the chat, any comments, just leave
Yeah,
it
leave
there.
them there if you have
And
any comment and any suggestion, any questions. Do you have the chat open for Facebook? I don't think you do.
it's open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
open.
leave if you have any questions, if you have any testimony where you've been through a situation, leave it there. We'll try to read whatever we can read. But yes. So anything else on the forgiveness part, or we can keep.
No, you're Olsen, so go ahead.
Okay. So the next question. So it's a lot of people say forgiveness. So let me ask you. This is not a part of my thing, but let me just ask you. A lot of people say, "What do you think about this phrase?"
Forgive that. I forgive you, but when I said to you, way, I'm staying
No,
out
no, no,
their
no.
way.
I forgive you, but
But you
I'll
don't
never
forget.
I
forget.
never forget.
What y'all think about it? As a child of God, do you think you should have that approach in any situation? You know what? I forgive you, but I'll never forget what you did to me.
It's a
Is
negative
that
statement.
completely
No, it's not complete.
forgiveness?
Forgiveness is not complete.
What do you think,
You're
Mr.
still
Anthony
incomplete.
Senior?
I might see it a little bit different because if you look on it from the fleshly side, you will always see it as sitting in front of you to be careful.
Yes.
You're not going to allow it to trouble you to that extent,
Yeah.
but it to be careful.
Yeah.
But from a spiritual side, you let it go. You have to behave like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But from a fleshy side, if so, it depends on the side that you hold it from.
What do you think is a bad thing though? To just is
It's
it a bad
it's
thing?
it's bad. It's bad holding it from the flesh because we sometimes allow it to come over on the spiritual side, where we bar one another because of the same thing that you hold on the flesh, of which both of us settle already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
So it's like you're going back into
Yeah.
into the thing all over again, as if
Again.
So it's not
nothing had
complete.
happened.
It's
Yeah.
not complete
It
forgiveness.
cannot
It's,
be
it's not complete.
complete. Anything happen and it goes back in the flesh, it's incomplete.
Incomplete.
So here, you can't forgive and not forget. So you have to forgive and forget to be completely forgiveness. Complete forgiveness is forgiving and forgetting.
And the thing is about that too, it's not you knowing that you're gonna remember,
Yeah,
because when a person come to you, there are times things gonna come back to your mind, your thoughts.
you're right.
Yeah.
However, how you react to that situation,
Yes.
that's the key. Because of course you're gonna remember, oh, so that person did that to me.
Yeah.
That's not what the Bible is talking about. Oh, you just throwing this sea of unforgetfulness. But the thing is, you don't allow what that person did to you before to impede how you deal with them in the here and now or moving forward.
Okay.
If that's their job to continue to hurt you, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay, because the God in you is supposed to override everything that person does.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
there go the
I'm
but.
gonna say a but because I'm not disregarding everything that you guys said.
All right.
I'm gonna say, however, I think it's okay to for a situation to happen and you say, you know what, I forgive you. But at the same time, you're not gonna forget what a person did to you in a sense where you're not gonna allow it to happen again. Like it's like a safeguard. You're guarding yourself from falling into a situation that happened to you before. The Bible also tells you that you have to guard your heart. So if you know, say somebody did a situation to you and you know it get to your heart, you forgive the person and you move on. You're guarding your heart by, not allowing that situation to happen again. And it's because,
Who's guarding your heart?
whoever, me or God,
That's you. So that's what I'm
You,
saying. What are you operating under?
you.
Exactly. What are you operating under?
So
Are you
who?
operating
Yeah.
under God? Or are you operating under an individual? And that's the thing.
it's not
And
too
that's
long,
why
it's
for
not too angry
no, it's
now.
not two on
This,
one. The thing
yeah.
is forgiveness. When you say you forgive someone, you gotta forgive. Like you can't say, "Oh, well, I forgive you," but I'm gonna guard myself against you because you did that. I'm not gonna allow you to do it again. No. How many times you say, "God, I'm not gonna do this again," but yet you go and do it?
Some
Suppose Christ said, "No, I'm gonna guard myself against you because I know you're gonna sin tomorrow." But I'm gonna guard myself against it because you just lied to me that you won't do it again,
so
and you go do it.
somebody try to drown you, right?
Hmm.
And you sit in the water. Somebody try to drown you, and you save yourself, right?
Right.
You sit in the water and swim again. You gonna jump in the water with them? No. Somebody try to drown you. Somebody try to drown you to kill you. In
Right.
one pool of water, right?
Hmm.
You see that person swim in the pool. Are you gonna jump in there?
Are we talking about forgiveness or
Yeah, you
actions?
forgive the person. Yes, you forgive the person. But if you forgive the person, you're supposed to jump in the water then. Because you forgive the person wholly. So you say, okay, me forgive you. Let me jump in the water again so you can't drown me.
No, but that would be allowing the person
God,
to
that's a good
feel
one.
that he can whatever
You
he
can't
or
try
she
kill me,
does,
right?
he just keep doing it.
No.
You see that what you do right there is you want to create a buffet by which the person that does it know that it is not right, and so it is a buffet. It also helps you and it helps that person, so that person will always be careful
Yes.
so as not to hurt you like that anymore again, because he knows what had happened before.
Yeah.
And that is the garden. That is what I
That
call
is a
the
God.
guard.
Yeah, that
That
is
is
a
the
God.
guard.
They
Okay.
try join you, you slap the blue smoke out of them, but they have get to the
Yeah.
wall. Yes.
No, you come back now, want to join it, make us slap you.
Yes, you're gonna get slapped. And I'm still gonna forgive you and say,
Yeah.
yes, we're good.
So I'm guarding myself by slapping you, not to take me down.
All
Yeah.
right. Listen, I forgive y'all, but come back. I'ma slap y'all. I'ma slap y'all real good.
No, that's they trying to do you harm though.
Yeah, that's
That's
harm.
different. That's bodily harm.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my goodness, that is so funny. All right, so next question. This is a very interesting question. How can we distinguish between human failure and God's character?
that is
Because the person that's hurting you, you have to go sit and have to try to distinguish between the two. Like, is this just a failure of a person, or this person just don't have no form of God traits and character in them? So how do you distinguish, like between a human failure and God's character?
Your disposition.
yeah. I
Yeah.
prefer the word disposition.
Yeah, their disposition.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that shows you
Where they stand.
where they stand with God, how they interpret the word into their own personal lives,
Okay.
so that their personal life can reflect that who it should reflect.
Okay.
If it's not reflecting that, you know that the person isn't built up to that stage where whatever the Bible requires,
It's not.
it's active.
Okay. So just like
So
we
that
said last week.
so he can't show you or demonstrate to you that which
it's not there.
He not
is
learn. He's unlearned.
he not
Yeah.
possess.
He
Bible
does
said, by
possess
their
it.
fruits you you shall know them.
Yeah.
Him not have the fruit. So
You don't
we're
have the
going
fruit yet.
to, you don't have the fruit yet.
All right.
So
Yeah,
one
just
can
show it.
distinguish human failure and God character by their fruits.
Right.
By their fruits.
Okay.
Now,
And the Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them.
yeah.
Okay.
So what we do as church people, and that's the wrong we do all the time. We do that now by the length of time they see me in church. They think that I should develop all these characters already.
Yeah.
So when they see me do one outer line here, so they can't believe that I don't know.
Right.
You know, look how long
You've been in church.
Look how long he's at church.
Supposed to know better.
And nobody could tell me that him don't know any better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you don't. You don't know better.
He has not developed that character, yes.
Character yet.
And we have to understand, as God deals with us, He deals with us some from the upper part, some from the middle. So those who from the middle not catch the upper part, you know,
Nope.
and those from the bottom here. So we deal with us different
Levels.
different levels.
Levels to this.
Wow. Profound.
Levels to that.
Profound.
Share the live, guys.
Yes, share the like.
Yeah, this is
thumbs up.
interesting,
This
huh?
is very good. Very, very good.
So John Anglin says in there that you will remember. I guess she's talking about whatever
Forgive
earth
and
people.
forget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you will remember.
You
It's
will
but it's
remember.
how you react to what you remember.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's always your reaction.
Yeah. Okay, so to distinguish, you can human failure and God's. You can every good and perfect good. Okay, so you can differentiate it by their fruits.
Yes.
Yeah, they're fruits.
Yeah.
As the Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them. So if you plant a corn, you're supposed to reap a corn. Can't plant a corn and expect to reap peas.
And if you don't see corn bearing, don't expect that the other person over there to have corn that he can plant for it to bear. And don't get corn
You
yet.
not read yet. You not reach yet.
And, yeah, and a lot of times, a lot of people would say, as you said earlier, you sit down in church for how many years and blah, 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 and people would
Yes.
think
That you
a
got
lot
it.
of
You
time-
should
yeah,
know
you
it.
should know it.
No.
But we have to also understand because a lot of people would be like, "Oh, how that person is a bishop
Bishop or a deacon or
pastor."
yeah.
You have to understand.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Flesh.
Same thing.
It's the flesh, man.
Same thing. He was a pastor for a time years, and he still doesn't never
Yeah,
meet
preach a
in
word too.
meet has nothing to do with that. Preach a word with all of that.
Yep.
But there's just this area he isn't built up
Not
into
there
this.
yet.
He's not there yet. He's
Yeah.
just not there yet.
Yeah. And a lot of time we confuse gifts with fruits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to be able to distinguish.
That's another whole topic.
That's a whole
Another
different
whole
conversation
to
right
be
now.
able to
Right, yeah.
distinguish because once God give you a gift, He ain't gonna take it from you. So you can run the house and speak in tongue and everything, and yet still you don't exhibit any of the fruits.
Oh
Any of
yes.
the fruit. So we have to know to. That's why the Bible say, we have to try the spirit, and if you don't have the spirit of discerning, ask God for it, so you can see and try the spirit.
Mm.
Oh, you have anything else to say on that?
No.
Boswell Jr.
Just know that fruit beer. And if your fruit don't have no seed, it's not a good fruit.
Yeah.
It's GMO.
It's GMO. it's
Modified.
it's
Yeah.
artificial. It's yeah. So
Yeah, real.
so anytime you have a fruit, it's supposed to reproduce a plant and a fruit of itself.
Right.
Yes.
I tell you that.
Yes,
There
man.
is
So
nothing without seed. So
the gift is just there.
yes, you ain't gonna take it. It's the gift. Okay, so interesting. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Okay, so this one is a good one. Okay. Do either one of you think it's okay to leave a church because of her?
Oh jeez. It depends.
Internet.
All right, listen. It depends on how much you are able to tolerate, your tolerance level, right? Because there are times when, and as I'm going to correct the church hurt again, right? It can't hurt the church. Can't hurt the church. I don't think you can hurt the church, but you can hurt an individual. So the question again?
Is it
Should you
okay
leave
to
a
leave a
church?
church? Church meaning the building.
The building?
Yeah.
Absolutely, you can move from the building.
Okay.
But you can't leave the church because the church stays inside of you wherever you go.
Yeah. And for those, and again, for those who have not developed a personal relationship with God and does not know that they are the church, do you think they should leave? Because, they see church as the building.
It depends on what you're able to tolerate, your tolerance level. Because, listen, I've been to some churches and I see fight broke out.
Lord, gee. So what you do? You know, run.
You bad word cussing at church.
Any church I go to and see any fight break out, me, that's it. Me gone.
I still went back. Yes,
No,
man.
sir.
Yes, man.
No, 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 no.
But it's then if you leave, then it shows you up like, who are you?
Right.
What position you play? What role you play
Where you
in
stand.
going there?
But in the
So are you there to help them?
Are you there for yourself?
Or
but
you
if you're
just
trying
there
to
for
help-
yourself?
But listen, I have a different take on it. I have a different take on it. Because I feel like if I'm in a situation and I'm being hurt, I feel like I'm being hurt and nothing is being resolved, I should leave. It's not that I am abandoning my faith. I'm just leaving a situation that is toxic and creating hurt for me.
All right. So,
Okay.
listen. What I would say about that, if you follow the scripture, right, and nothing is able to be resolved, right, then you can consider leaving. So the first thing, right, if your person hurt you,
Okay.
did you talk to that person one on one?
Let's say I did.
Okay, good. So that's strike one. The next thing, if the person that here and the person hurt you again, you bring somebody else.
Let's say I did.
Yes, so you did, right? Nothing changed. Now that person do you hurt again, right? And you bring them in front of the congregation, right? And they continue to hurt you. At some point, you now have to decide, okay, when is it time for you to walk away? How much are you able to deal with? Because some people are just naturally provoking people and toxic, and they can't see. Some people can't see themselves.
So we have to understand, not everybody
No,
that's
I mean,
in the
it's
building. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
We have to
But go
understand,
ahead.
not everybody at church safe.
Right. So I was coming with that a while ago. No.
Right.
Because then it leads us back to tolerance.
Right.
Temporary.
How we see church. How do we look at coming to church as individuals? I see church like a garage. That's me. I don't tell you to see it like that, but I see church as a garage where everybody tile the whole week. They come in with then different cars, with different complaint, with different things, and they come that then car will look after. Them tailpipe will weld up. Them
The engine
will
run
fix
out.
up. And every part will come together. That's how I see church.
Yes.
And once you see church like that, and you see somebody with a bad tire and a bad engine over there, all I would, when you say you run and you wouldn't go back there, what you mean? You mean you wouldn't go back to the garage to help to see that
another garage.
to see that the person
I patch up a tire properly.
that has the problem over there have it remedied because in come to your garage.
But what if, seeing that you're on the garage, right? So what if you bring your car broke down in there, bring it at the garage, because the garage is supposed to make your car whole, supposed to help your car
This is the
drive
church.
again.
Yes, I
Right?
call the garage.
But you got the garage, and instead of the man a pour aisle, which part aisle for going my throat? When name fluid, washer fluid.
Brake fluid.
There, brake fluid, which part the gas to go? You ever go back at the gas, the man there?
It means that your car parked one place, he couldn't go home. So they have to bring another mechanic who is better able to
To deal with- to diagnose a vehicle.
Because him pull up the thing and don't know what to throw in it again. So you are left with the car at the garage, not working on. Don't get no benefit from going at the
Me
garage.
personally, me see church as a hospital.
Okay. If you look at it like
To
that
me,
too,
I see it as a hospital because, as you said, sometimes you go through the whole week and you just want to go to that place, for strength. And if me go to the hospital and them a give me Tylenol and me allergic to a Tylenol, if try to kill me, I ain't going back. And if me go to the hospital and leave the hospital worse at home, me going there, I ain't going back. I'll find a
English.
different hospital. Oh. And if I
Yes.
go to the hospital that is supposed to be the place to take care of me, to make me feel better, and going there, I end up being worse because of what wrong medication being administered, or I'm not going back. I'm gonna find me a different hospital. That's me personally. I'm gonna find me a different hospital that can treat me for what I'm there for. I'm there for a wound. I come on my foot broke, and you take care of headache or footache, or even though sometimes in some cases, you have to deal with certain situations more than. But at the same time, if I go to a hospital where I should be getting treatment to be better, and you're making me worse, I ain't going back.
so now you understand why the hospital should have proper people,
The right doctors,
the right
Properly
CEO,
trained.
the right whatever you call them down the
chief
line
of staff,
to work in the
the
hospital.
department, right?
If you don't have that, you're bound to get bad medication.
So we're
You're bound to diagnose wrongly.
Yep.
so for the church that would be the fivefold ministry.
Yes.
That's what it is. You have the apostle, you have the pastor, the teacher, the bishop. You have those apostles. Yes,
Yeah. So when you come into the church, you're supposed to come back out healed.
yes.
You're supposed to come back out, but get something from it.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not getting it, it means then somebody is up top that should administer. Is not administering right, or the right person is not there to administer to whoever that is there for whatever complaint
At them, yes.
they come with.
Yes.
And that's why it's so important for the church to be totally equipped.
Equip. Oh yes, I
Because
agree.
the cases are so different and complex.
Yes.
And all of that is into it, that if you don't have the right person up head that is hearing from God to administer to those who is having the different problems, the different situation,
Yes.
and no one man is an island. So no matter think that because you see the pastor up there, you think that he want going to administer and he going to give pain medicine and he going to go in there and he give one for tie up the man foot
Under
he
the
going to
surgery.
no.
Become
He
overwhelmed,
is not an island. He's not an island.
Yes.
He's just there as an administrator
Yes.
to administrate. So to see to it that
Delegate.
those who are up there, they are able to administer
The right.
the right, the right thing for the purpose of that which.
Guys, remember, share the live, man. This is an intro.
Hey, this is.
Very, very interesting. Sorry.
Yeah, I know this is interesting. This is interesting.
Okay, I keep getting cut tonight. Okay. So listen, guys, listen. Leave a comment in the chat. Share this live. This conversation is really interesting, thought provoking, and it doesn't matter how long you've been in church or the building per se. But let's have this discussion. Have you ever been church hurt? Have you experienced that? And what is that like? And do you feel like you should leave the church because you got hurt? Some of the questions, right, Shanika? And yes, but this is very interesting. I'm having a great time, and listen, I have my father on the couch here tonight, and listen, guys, share the live. I can't express this much more. share this live and get people involved. TikTok, thank you guys for watching. And this is very interesting. And you guys can share it on TikTok too. So you probably can't see my face, but here I am. So share it. All right. All right. So next, go
So
ahead.
yeah, so Mr. Anglin and I'm a YouTuber, so Mr. Anglin did,
Yeah.
really state some very, very, very great points. No man is an island.
That's a
No man
question.
is an. Who's the guest tonight?
So for those of you who came in late, the guest that is on the couch is my father, Boswell Anglin Sr. So he's the author of the song called Hallelujah. So if you haven't heard that song, go check it out. It's playing on all major music platforms. Hallelujah. That's his song. He wrote that song and I put a twist on it. He actually recorded it too. So look out for that release soon. All right. So that's who we have on the couch tonight. What's the other questions? I can't see what I want to say, Nika.
It was not a question. It just said, "Amen." Administer the right medication, and then someone said, "Big up, bro. Love what you are doing. Love to see that. Always inspired by him from a boy."
Who's that? Kiki?
It says Kirk Johnson.
Oh, Kirk Johnson. Okay, Kirk all the way from Jamaica watching. Oh, this is interesting. Thank you, Kirk. Make sure you share the live. All right. Yes. Well, go ahead.
So, yes, I was saying, so Mr. Anglin did say something very profound. Um, so he did say something very profound, like no man is an island, and when you have, even in the hospitals, you have the
Thank you,
chief,
Allison.
you have the chief, and the chief of the whole nurse in our hospital was to come down and take care of every single patient. You know how much patient that did? So you know what the chief does? He hires doctors and doctors, and they hire charge nurses, and they hire nurses, and they hire
CPA.
CPA. So the nurses don't get overwhelmed. They have CPAs to do X-rays. They have CPAs to clean the room. CPAs to do that, and then you have the nurses. And you never go to a hospital and there's only one doctor. There's always at least 3 or 4. And
Yes.
those doctors. So it comes down to the church as well. The church
Are we
needs to
equipped?
have structure. It needs to be equipped so individuals can be administered correctly. Whatever needs to be administered can be administered correctly, because it makes no sense. You walk into a sanctuary bound by whatever the world throws at you, and you walk out the same way.
All
It
right.
makes absolutely no sense. That means we are not doing what we're supposed to do. Because when Christ was on earth, he never ever walked into a situation and anyone walked away from that situation the same.
That's right.
So there is no way, and if we're trying to demonstrate Jesus Christ, we should have that same effect.
Right.
The very same effect.
And that just shows to us how lacking the church is.
We are very lacking.
We the type of strength that we should have, we don't have it because I don't know if we are administrating all right, because the CEO wants to look after foot, and he wants to make certain that the cut stitches up, and yet he have the surgeon, and he has the nurse.
Yes.
So why have them then if you if you want to be if you want to see to it that all of that is done? You have to trust
Yes.
your workers
Yes.
and know that
They're competent
they're
enough.
competent enough.
Yes, to carry out whatever
carry
you.
out
Yes.
whatever there is.
What does that person say?
Williams,
That's
it
it.
says you not reading comments on TikTok nor engaging that audience. People.
Oh, jeez. Listen, TikTok.
TikTok is like a little bit far.
Oh my gosh, TikTok is a little bit distance from us, guys. So I would love that, and it's on the phone.
Yeah.
So-
So sorry, TikTok fans.
Oh, that's Shakira, right? Okay, that's Shakira. So TikTok, we're sorry if we're not engaging. Yeah, you guys are a little bit distant. I think I'm gonna bring it a little bit closer.
What we're gonna have to do is whenever we go live, we're gonna have someone being the
The
host,
host,
so they can
yes.
respond to the messages on TikTok. We're just
Right.
learning TikTok, so just bear with us, please, and to forgive us. We'll get it right. We promise.
Thank you, Shakira.
Eventually, eventually we'll get it right. So just bear with us, please, please. But yeah, yeah, we're lacking in so many areas. We are lacking.
And that is why you want to leave,
Yeah,
because you're not
you're not
administered to.
being administered correctly. Yeah.
You're not
Mhm.
administered to because there isn't the right person
Yeah.
to administer to your complaint.
Yeah.
So you go there and you come back home
Mhm.
worse than
You went.
you went.
Yeah. Wow. Very interesting. So we're on the very, 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 very last question.
Let me get TikTok closer so we can talk to TikTok.
Or maybe,
Go ahead.
or
Oh,
maybe
go
you
ahead.
could
Keep, ask
use,
the
or maybe
question.
you could send it to me and you can host it from there.
So let's see if we can keep talking. Keep talking. I don't want to get in the view.
Um. So yeah, the very last question is, how can church, the building, or the people within the building, become a place of healing rather than harm? How can we become a place of restoration? Because these last days, it's like church don't want to be the place of restoration no more. It's like they rather to chase you out than to bring you back in. So it's like these days, it's like, which I don't understand because, like, if you make a mistake within the church, it's for the church to, bring you back with love, with temperance, with the fruits of the Spirit. Use the fruit of the Spirit to keep those, that have fallen short in any way.
Right.
And I find out that a lot of churches, they might run you out instead of keep you in. Restoration, you don't feel like restoration is something that they prioritize.
Okay.
And that is necessary.
I invite
And that is necessary. Hold on, let me go in there. And that is very, very necessary. So what's your take on that?
So what was the question again?
The question is, how can the church become a place of healing
her. Yeah,
rather than harm?
go on your live first.
We have to be able to be receptive to the word. Earlier on, I was having a discussion, and we said we should not, we should not be conformed,
Yes.
but we should be transformed
Right.
by the renewing of our mind. When we come into the house, we listened attentively for that which comes from the word,
Yes.
because it's only what would come from the word is able to calm our situation,
Yes.
able to heal our condition.
Yes.
Only what comes from the word through his servant is able to deal with what should be dealt with. If not, it's it's no use coming.
Yeah.
So our main focus is to be receptive, have a receptive heart to the word, so that the word can come into us and reborn,
Yeah.
rebirth, and that which is in us would one, if it's a situation that affects us, the word would magnify itself, and the situation would has to be lessened.
Yes.
So it's only through the word, receptiveness through the word, that enters into our spirit being and into our mind, and our renewed mind is able to allow us to see or to see things differently, or to have that deliverance that we should have.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good take. Um, you know, church. I feel like, and as I was saying, church that is no longer a place of restoration. Um, humility that you think you should find in the house is not there. Accountability is not there anymore. So even if someone know that they create hurt in or they know that they create hurt to someone, the accountability that one should take, everybody just feel like them grown, and them that I don't need to apologize, I don't need to say sorry, I don't need to take accountability for anything. Instead of taking accountability and communicating, as you said, it starts with the dry malice, because guess what, you don't want to communicate because you feel like you're more superior than me, so me beneath you, or because me beneath you, you don't feel like it's necessary for you to take any accountability.
Right.
So I feel like it should be a place for healing, but it's hard because of those components.
What was the question again?
How can the church become a place of healing rather than harm or hurt?
The church can become a part of healing. How can the church become a part of healing instead of a place of healing? No, it will become that when we start walking in God.
What He requires.
Yeah, when we start walking in God and the kingdom of God is within us, right? And you start looking at people through the lens of God as opposed to yourself, right? And when you start doing that, God look at your imperfections, right? He look at everything, and despite how messed up you are or whatever, He still sees you as you.
Okay.
So therefore, when we look at someone, and whether they're messed up or they do things to hurt you, or you do things to hurt them, when God is inside of you, right, and you start looking at things from that perspective, less hurt will happen, less problem will happen, more healing will actually start to happen, because now the Spirit have a way to flow where people can be delivered, right? People can be healed as well. So just walking with God, walk and looking at people through the lens of God's eyes.
And that's why I said the word, be receptive to the word.
Yes,
Yeah, that's it. The word is God.
And what the word says. Um, thy word have I
Hidden.
hid. It's placed there. Nobody can take it out.
That's it.
And it reproduces. It produces. It do everything that you may not.
Yes,
Mm.
that's so true.
So the word is the key.
The key to everything.
Thy word have I hidden in my heart that I may not sin against thee.
Let's go to
Go
the
to chat. Oh,
and
gosh.
answer a few questions. We don't want anyone to feel left out. So let's start from Shakira William. She has a question. She
What's
says,
up?
my question is, how can you forgive someone when you are still hurting from whatever they did to you? That's a great question.
Come out of your flesh.
That's what we keep saying.
Get out your flesh. That's what it is.
Is it true?
Because it's your
However,
flesh that is hurting. It's not the Spirit of God that's in you. So the thing is, we got to get past the flesh.
True.
And that's our biggest struggle as humans. We tend to be stuck in the flesh as opposed to be stuck in God.
But what about a person that is not at the stage of siffing?
Go pray.
Mr.
Pray.
Anglin, what about the person who's not at the place of sift?
Go
like,
pray and talk to God.
Like for you can see a situation and say, you know what? I'm going to sift this out. And what's not for me, I'm going to leave at the bottom. And what's for me, I'm going to take it. But how do you tell that to a person
I just
who
tell her.
doesn't know how to sift?
I just tell him. Go pray.
On the couch.
Compare,
Amen.
compare and see God and say, God, I am having this issue. This is my problem.
Yes, there you go.
God, I need more of you.
Yes,
And when I ask for more of you, God, I'm asking from a sincere heart.
yes.
So when you ask God for that now, and you have God, right? Because God is going to give you what you ask for,
Preach, my
right?
brother. Glory. That's a word.
When He's going to give you what you ask for. So when you ask Him for something and He gives it to you, now you got more of Him. So when you
More
have
of you.
when you have more of Him, then you can put out more of Him,
Yes.
which is forgiveness, because God comes with forgiveness.
So then it carries us back to what we just quoted a while ago. Thy
Word.
word
Have I hid in my
have
heart?
I hid
In my heart.
in my heart.
And I mean not sin against it.
That's
So
it.
Shakira Williams, there goes your question. The
Your
word.
answer.
There goes your answer.
The word.
Stay in the word. And if you go to God, because He said a broken and a contrite heart, He will not despise.
not.
So if you're hurting about a situation that you can't get over, go seek Jesus.
A matter of
Trust me.
fact,
He
to,
will,
to
he will give you the answer.
check yourself first. Check yourself on and see what you could have done in that situation to avoid you getting hurt. What did you contribute to that? And because if you can't acknowledge you're wrong, you won't be able to. You're going to continue to focus on something that somebody did to you, right? So check yourself first and say, you know what? Maybe I did this. Maybe I could have done this way, or you know what? Okay, let me see my part in this. And then when you can acknowledge your part, then you'll be able to have the courage to face that person and say, you know what? You did this so, and I'm not going to talk to anybody else about it. Or if you talk to somebody else about it already, you can say, well, I was talking to so and so about it. Just be honest, be transparent, and say, you did this to me, and this is how I felt. So you're telling that person how you feel. Now that person could in turn look back at you and say, okay, well, I didn't mean it that way. And most of the time, people end up being hurt because of miscommunication. Because it can, as we said earlier, it can be intentional and it can be unintentional.
Yeah.
So now you have to decide, did that person intentionally go out their way to hurt me? So check yourself first.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer.
I like that because no matter what you do, if you check yourself, you'll find that there's something there that you could have done
Different.
differently.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I can I can assure you of that one.
Oh yes.
That if you had done it this way,
Yeah.
it wouldn't come out this
That
way.
way.
So because I've done it this way, it carries this aroma. But if it was done the other way, it would not carry that. And once it, because of the way it carries between the two of you could have done something
Yeah.
differently. And if you have the two of you have the same saying, you have to meet at a crossroad.
Yes.
I say, you know what, the two of we have this foolishness. Cause if we did just tell you say so and so and so, this wouldn't go like that.
Yeah.
And here this one, say if me did just tell you so, me not like it.
Oh,
It
true.
wouldn't go. It wouldn't go.
It's
so
more
far.
than what we make of it. It's so
So
simple.
it's how you handle the thing and come to a consensus
Yes.
about that which happened.
Wow.
And I trust we as the church people will try to learn from this because I don't think we're meeting one another in the middle with
No
things,
compromise.
to
There's no compromising.
compromise. We keep a stiff head, and because you're bigger than me, you think you're bigger than me.
Yeah,
then you
that's the
hold
key.
stick over.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't come to you, and
Yeah.
you're not coming down to me because
That's the problem.
and it creates chaos,
Ego.
and it's all in the flesh.
And if you're in the flesh, you're the devil.
Please God.
You're devil.
You
You're the
cannot
devil.
please God.
Yeah.
You can't please God
So we're supposed to
in
worship Him in spirit
the
and in truth.
flesh.
It's the devil.
Right.
That's it. We try to put nice words, and yes, if you're in your flesh, you're operating under the auspices of the devil. Bottom line.
Mm. Well, that sums up tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. We're not going anywhere, but we're going to finish just by any final anything you want to say about just in closing in regards to the whole topic. You want to share something, leave a testimony, leave an encouragement to someone.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. Um, as I said, guys, earlier last week, uh, there may be people that offend you, right? And the offense may affect you as an individual, right? But never forget that who you're with and who you serve, right? And though you may be hurt by someone, your personality or your ego or whatever may be hurt, just know that no one can hurt you as the church in you, and no one can affect that God in you unless you allow them to. Don't give nobody no power over you. Only God has the power and authority over you. All right. So, as my wife said last week, she was saying about hurt can affect your faith. And I was disagreeing, because I said your faith is not in man, your faith is in God. And once you put your faith and trust in God, there's not supposed to be any outside interference that can affect that. Nothing. So that's why I write that song, More and More of You. When you have more and more of God, listen, everything that seems to affect you, that would affect you in the flesh, becomes so simple. So simple. Because you're walking in God and God walking in you. So that's it.
Okay, so Althea said, sometimes you are not at fault. I carried a hurt for a long time. One night I honestly gave it to God. I watched God allow that person to call me and ask me to forgive them. So you see, leave it to God. Sometimes that's the best thing to do. Just leave it in the hands of God. Sometimes when you do your best and you think you're doing your best and it's not working, just leave it in God's hand. He knows best. Leave it in God's hand and still exhibit the fruits.
The fruit.
The fruit.
Whichever one you have.
Exhibit the fruit.
Yeah.
Leave it in God's hand.
Yeah.
You see the person, you still
Love.
them.
Yes,
Love them.
man.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it can be done.
Yeah.
It can be
It's
done.
doable.
It's doable.
It's easy when you're walking with God.
Yeah. The flesh will try to be an endurance, but when you leave it up to the Almighty, it can be done. Shakira, can you guys sing?
Well, the keyboard is right there.
Can you guys sing? Oh Lord. What song you want us to sing, Shakira Williams?
Shakira,
Joan
go to your bed.
Joan said this takes time and it's a process. We have to go through the process. Yeah, you can go through the process with the fruit. As long as you're exhibiting those fruit. Alright, that's fruit.
Yes, that's the process. That's the process.
Fruit. It's the process, but bring the fruit.
But make sure you bring the fruit in the process.
Make sure you hug that person in the process.
Yes, man, until...
You love them in the process.
Oh, gosh.
Yes,
We have a long way to go, but with God...
Start.
Yeah, with God, yes, man.
Start.
All things
We
are
can
possible.
do all
All
things.
things are possible with Jesus Christ. Just leave it in His hand, leave it in His hand, and He will take control of it. If
My
we
God.
follow this, I promise you, we can't go wrong. We cannot go wrong if we follow this. Everything we need is here.
Not to just read it,
No,
but
to do it.
Apply.
hide it. The word
Have I hidden in my heart.
hid in my heart.
Application. Not just reading. And that's a lot. That's a thing that a lot of us can do in church. We can go in, we can preach the word, and we can break it down to pieces. But having the application of it, where you use it every day as an instrument to guide you.
Yeah, you're on the
A
right
lot
path.
of us fall short of that.
You wanna
We
play?
The
do.
application process.
You wanna play
So,
some?
me dip on the couch,
You wanna play anything?
You
I
want
don't
to play
know.
something?
I don't know.
Which song she said? Did she the person asked, well,
Leave it alone if you want. It depends on you.
I mean I don't mind singing a song. I mean I'll just go on the keyboard over there.
I can just acapella. You're not going to play the keyboard.
Well, the keyboard is on.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead. Go across.
So I'm not gonna sing. And now
You don't sing either.
Daddy,
I ain't good.
Is Auntie that you're going to sing
So
tonight?
if
She said
all three
any
of
song.
us say that, what happened?
No, are you are
If
gonna
all
sing?
of us say it, they don't get no
guests
song.
the guests have to do what we say, so are you are going to sing?
Yes, the guest got to do what we ask. Yes.
So the guests got to sing. Sorry, guests.
But before we go, guys, listen, let's thank my father for taking the time and the opportunity, Mr. Anglin. We thank you for coming out on our couch talk and having this discussion with us. And guys, if you were here earlier, we were having technical difficulties, but there's this ministry that he has. It's called PhD. Or you say that? Patience, healing, and deliverance. All right. So that's which one? One is red, right? What red, white, and blue?
White is patient. It's represent purity. Blue represent peace, which is healing. And the red is deliverance.
Deliverance. So, guys, if you are anywhere in Jamaica and you see this and you want to, whether you're in the States or you're in Jamaica or anywhere in the world, and you want to contribute or do anything towards this ministry where he goes and he feeds people within his community, because that's where God sent him right back to. Because he's been running for all his life, and God just hooked him by the neck with a rope and said, "You're not going anywhere anymore." So he had to go back to his city, his town, hometown in Jamaica, and in Westmoreland, and now he's feeding people there. He's doing a lot. And if you want to contribute to that, you could reach out to, you could DM us in our Facebook and let us know how you want to support this ministry that he is operating. And yeah, pretty much. But we thank you for coming on today. And we this was a great conversation. And guys, listen, go check out his song, Ale Hallelujah. That song was written by him as well. I'm just the one who did it and released it, but it was it was written by my father. And also Psalms 23, if you guys listen to that song that I've written, it was inspired by both him and myself, or it's like a testimony. All right, so you guys go listen to those songs. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all major music platforms, so go check it out. Okay. And anything else, Shanika?
No, that's pretty much it.
So you're gonna sing a song, Daddy?
Now, Mr. Anglin is gonna sing. He's gonna bless us. Short, sweet, and spicy. Come on, Mr.
All right. So let me.
While Bazzy sing, play on the keyboard.
That's what you want to do.
Any song you want, Mr. Anglin.
I don't come to mind right now.
You got this, Mr. Anglin.
All right, we'll find something.
Mr. Anglin is gonna bless our hearts. Come on, Mr. Anglin. Come on, come on. You got this, Mr. A.
Let's see. So keep talking, nigga.
So, thanks for joining us tonight. If this episode, you know someone who might be going through some form of church hurt, please share this episode. And remember, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Develop a personal relationship with God. Get to know who Jesus is for yourself, so when you face these testing and trials, you're able to withstand them and to go through them with grace. So spend some time in the Word, get to know God for yourself, and a relationship is absolutely necessary as a child of God. You must have a relationship with God. So we are really glad that you're able to join us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Just remember the events that are coming up. June 21st and August 16th. If you're in the area, come on over and worship with us. So, Mr. Anglin, bless.
Since we are in closing, there's a lot of us who need to lean on Jesus. Learning to lean. I'm learning to lean. I'm learning to lean on Jesus. Finding more power than I ever dreamed. I'm learning to lean on Jesus. Learning to lean and learning to lean. Learning to lean on Jesus. Finding more power than I ever dreamed. Am learning to lean on
Amen. Learning to lean on Jesus. So again, we thank you all for joining us tonight on Couch Talk. We will see you next week or the week after. I guess we'll see you next week. He ain't playing what he says every week. So we'll see you next week. Share. We ask you, please. That's all we ask. That you just share with your friends. Subscribe on YouTube. We thank you. So again, I did say that already. So in closing, we like to say, let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Amen.